Hey everybody, how's it going? I thought I would give Thall, or Thall, a try. Now this is a genre that has kind of been around for a very long time, probably since Meshuggah, but now it's definitely become its own sort of distilled pedigree, if you will, of metal. And the best way to describe it is it's super duper, like earth-shatteringly heavy music. Probably the heaviest metal has ever been. So there's a lot of intricate parts, crazy time signatures, kick drums and snares all over the place. Very little in terms of traditional guitar hooks, down tuning below anyone's ever been, and a lot of use of effects. And it's a super duper production laden genre. And I thought, yeah, I'll have a go. And this is pretty stupid. This is pretty silly. But have a listen and we'll dive in. Let's go. So guys, that is my Thall attempt. And it's not something I'm going to be getting into, I don't think. Like, I always do a video on genres or bands that I've never really attempted before. Like last year I did this black metal thing, which, kind of sounds like black metal, but with my spin on it. And this is the same sort of thing. So first of all, guys, I know you guys love drums. And I've got to say, I'm pretty proud of this kit. Now, I know the Buster Old Home kit or Old Home drums came out very recently, and I was like, ooh, they sound amazing. I've got to get those. But I thought, you know what? I can get pretty close to what I've got. And with a bit of tweaking it, I kind of got, well, at least like 50% there towards that kind of sound, not the exact sounds. And this is the Arcane Hate Kit from Panda Sound. I've used this a few different times. And this is a pack for Perfect Drums. Now, I know Perfect Drums is like defunct, but you can still get PD Player, which is this sampler section here. You can still get that off the site for free. And you just load it into the kit designer, load sampler kit, and you load it in. But what I've done is I've taken out the kick drum and the snare drum and replaced them with other Panda Sound samples. So I've got the massive kick, just sounds huge in a mix. And I've got the virus snare from Panda Shots 3. This is from Panda Shots 1, this is from Panda Shots 3. Big thank you to Panda Sound for sending these over. I love these sounds. Just an absolutely devastating snare drum sound. I mean, perfect for this kind of thing. Super processed, super punchy, and yeah, just kicks ass. I mean, the rest of the kit, yeah, just like over the top, just crazy stuff, especially those toms. Compression, I'm only compressing. Let's have a listen. Yeah, up to sort of 2, maybe 3 dB in some of the louder hits. And that just sort of adds that little bit of extra process and polish and punch to the kit. Epic plate, just to give it a bit more size. And the cool thing is with this plugin, you do have a drive control here, so it is adding some nice saturation, which does tend to glue things together a bit more. It makes it sound a little bit less like samples, it makes it sound that tiny little bit more natural. But I'm not going for a natural sound here, I'm going for it like super processed. Right, the sound effects I've got going here are all going through Mercurial Chorus just to widen them. This mix knob here will spread it over the stereo spectrum really nicely. Bit of EQ, I'm just low passing there just to make them sound a little bit darker. It's just what I preferred. And what I've got going on here for certain parts is explosions. That's a fairly hefty one right there. That's the same one there for that part. And I've got this reverse cymbal, which actually got And that goes into an explosion there. I got a reverse cymbal there, which I got from GarageBand a long time ago. I just reversed the take and it gave me that. And I got a couple of snare bombs here. And it's the same one there. That is from the free post-production pack, effects pack from Modern Metal Songwriter, who are now Modern Music Solutions. Cool guys over there. They've got a lot of free stuff on their site and free plugins. Yeah, go check it out, guys. Just some absolutely dynamite stuff for modern mixes. It really is good stuff. Again, these guys have sent stuff over for free in the past, but you know, no money's changed hands or anything. The Growler by August Rose Audio. This is just one of the best modern sounding bass VSTs. Just, yeah, absolutely fantastic. The Growl on Hot just gives you this really big, thunderous, distorted sound. This is my favorite IR. Yeah, it's just brutal stuff. Same EQ I usually do, but I am raising around 1K just to get a bit more of that like sort of vocal like voice out of the bass. Compression, just reducing about like 2 dB. I'll just let you hear the bass by itself with the drums. So, you know, like it suggests, it's a very growly sound. Fantastic tone for modern stuff. So the lead guitar, let's just have a look at that. Amped Roots, I've been using this preset in a lot of things. But I turned the effects off and just had the drive going through it. This is the cab. You've seen this stuff before. Typical EQ I do on lead. And then Valhalla Supermassive just to make it, you know, washy, epic, insane. It's the Hydra Mode, Hydra Heart preset. I've pretty much just taken down the feedback and the mix a little bit, just so the reverb doesn't go too long. Now the guitars, like, oh my God, they took me, I mean, like a million years to track, because this is just not my genre at all. And for how, you know, sporadic and sort of weird the timing is on a lot of the playing, it just took me ages. So I'll just show you what's going on. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. So quickly, I do this on like everything, just reducing about like up to 3 dB on the palm mutes. And there's a lot of low end going through this, so it took me a while to set that right. And there was a whistly horribleness at about 3.5K, standard stuff I do on like pretty much every mix, but here's where it gets crazy. So these first two tracks here are a pitch shifted guitar. I am in C standard, and I pitched it down to -13, so the octave below would be -12, but I saw a trick that Knocked Loose have been doing where they use the pitchfork and they have their regular signal for the guitar plus a parallel signal that is a semitone lower or a semitone higher. And it just gives you this horrible, like super dirty, almost like there's no like defined notes. It's just absolute insane heaviness. And when you put this together with the guitar that's in the correct tuning, it just creates this, you know, ultra heavy sound. So this is the only way to describe it really. Noise gate, keep things quiet and keep things tight. I'm doing a lot of editing, chopping out the silences, which is what I think you should do for this kind of thing, especially this part. Keeps it super tight. As far as like my performance, it is my performance, but I've just chopped it up. Basically, there's not been a lot of timing corrections, maybe 1 or 2 here and there, but I can't remember where they are. But it's all played, you know, properly. NA828, just a nice tight overdrive going into Blades, one of my favorite amp sims. If you're on Windows, guys, this is Windows only. Just get this. This is amazing. This is one of the older versions, but the newer version is great too. Tight, punchy, super realistic, great stuff. Going into Super Brutal #1. And then the EQ here, very different. I took the low pass and just brought it down to, well, wherever it is. Let's have a look. Yeah, 3600 hertz. I wanted this to be a dirty, thunderous guitar. And for these two, the pitch shifted ones, I just wanted them to be just horrible. You'll see what I mean. I'll just play this. So I'm just getting that kind of sound. So I don't need any of this, you know, like fidelity sort of treble up here. It's just not needed for what I'm doing with those tracks. And on the other side, it's pretty much the same. I'm just using a different IR. I'm using New Old Dude. Right, and this is the C standard guitar. And you'll notice when I do these like high screechy bits, just watch Hypertune here. I mean, that second one just sounds a bit silly, to be honest. It doesn't really sound scary. It just sounds ridiculous. But right there, you can see it's pitching up as I'm playing. Little tricks you can do with automation. Again, this rig is pretty much the same as those other tracks. And on those high screeches, yeah, I am using Melder flanger. So if you just watch what's going on here. Yeah, it just gives kind of a crazy wild sound. Sounds a bit silly actually, but good fun. New Old Dude again as the IR. EQ is the standard EQ I always do. And the second guitar is pretty much doing the same thing. But it's the automation on Hypertune, the pitch shifter, giving that crazy, weird, scratchy sound. Sort of screeches, as they were. Kind of like, you know, Humanity's Last Breath or Mirage. Those bands, you know, really just, they do it incredibly well. But this is just me sort of sending it up. But yeah, good fun. But I'll just show you the end, and just because these are like a semitone lower, it just creates this really horrible thick wall of guitar. Yeah, as you can hear there, guys, just crazy. If I take them out, it's still kind of heavy. But with those two guitars in, it just sort of tips it over the edge. I know Buster from Humanity's Last Breath, he's massive at the moment, production-wise. Everyone's trying to copy him. And that's one of the tricks he does. He does a lot of pitch shifting. So that's about it, guys. That was my attempt at a Thall style tune. Humanity's Last Breath, Mirage, that kind of like super crazy process. Like, I don't know how these guys play this live, especially Buster. I don't know how they rehearse this stuff. It's just completely insane. And then you got to like recreate the sounds. It must be so hard to get right. So guys, let me know what you think. And yeah, it's good to try new stuff. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. And subscribe if you want to see more metal related stuff. I'll be back sometime with a video on something else. So until then, ciao.